Have you ever noticed how easy it is to dream about a better life, and how hard it becomes when it is finally time to change something real? You say you want peace, but you keep feeding chaos. You say you want discipline, but you keep negotiating with comfort. You say you want healing, but you keep reopening what already hurt you. And slowly, without realizing it, you start avoiding the very life you once prayed for, hoped for, and imagined for yourself. A lot of people think they are stuck because life is unfair. Sometimes that is true. Life can be heavy. Rejection hurts. Burnout changes you. Disappointment drains your spirit. But many times, the deeper problem is quieter than that. You are no longer moving toward the life you want. You are hiding from the responsibility that comes with becoming that person. Have you ever caught yourself thinking this way? I'll start when I feel better. I'll change when life calms down. I just need more motivation. But peace rarely arrives before discipline does. Emotional healing rarely begins while avoidance continues. And today, I want us to talk honestly about that. Because you're avoiding the life you asked for, and deep down, part of you already knows it. A lot of people think avoidance always looks obvious. They imagine someone completely giving up on life, isolating themselves, or openly refusing responsibility. But most avoidance looks ordinary. It hides inside daily habits that seem harmless at first. Constant scrolling. Endless procrastination. Staying emotionally busy all the time. Saying, "I'll start tomorrow," so often that tomorrow quietly becomes another form of escape. The difficult part is that comfort slowly starts feeling safer than growth. You stop taking risks. You stop challenging yourself. You stop having honest conversations with yourself about what you truly want. And eventually, you realize you are not protecting your peace anymore, you are protecting your fear. That is why awareness matters. Because healing begins the moment you stop pretending distraction is the same thing as peace. Many people spend years waiting for motivation to rescue them. They believe discipline should feel exciting, emotional, or inspiring every day. But real growth rarely works that way. Some mornings you wake up energized. Other mornings you feel mentally exhausted, emotionally disconnected, or discouraged by how long progress is taking. And that is exactly where discipline becomes important. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect repeated consistently. It is choosing your future even when your emotions are unstable. Have you ever noticed how much energy gets wasted waiting to feel ready? The truth is, readiness often comes after movement, not before it. Small actions create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. And confidence slowly changes the way you see yourself and your life. A lot of emotional avoidance is connected to unresolved pain. When someone has been disappointed repeatedly, criticized harshly, emotionally neglected, or constantly stressed, the mind slowly begins protecting itself from discomfort. That protection can become emotional numbness, constant distraction, or lack of motivation. People often think they are lazy when they are actually emotionally exhausted. They stop trusting themselves. They stop believing their effort will matter. So instead of confronting life directly, they escape into routines that temporarily silence their emotions. But emotional healing begins when you stop running from your inner world. Not with judgment, but with honesty. Your pain deserves compassion, but it should not quietly become an excuse to abandon your growth, your peace, or the future that still belongs to you. Many people say they want peace while continuing habits that destroy it every single day. They stay attached to unhealthy environments, ignore their emotional boundaries, overthink constantly, and consume so much noise that silence starts feeling uncomfortable. Then they wonder why they still feel restless inside. Inner peace is not something that randomly appears one morning. It is built through repeated choices. The way you sleep, think, react, speak, and spend your time slowly shapes your emotional state. Discipline habits are deeply connected to emotional healing because stable routines protect your mind from chaos. Gratitude matters. Reflection matters. Honest boundaries matter. Peace within is usually built quietly, through small consistent actions that slowly reconnect you back to yourself. Comparison quietly ruins a lot of people's lives because it disconnects them from their own progress. Instead of building patiently, they constantly measure themselves against somebody else's timeline. Someone else seems more successful, more attractive, more disciplined, more confident. And over time, gratitude disappears because nothing feels good enough anymore. Social media intensifies this problem because people compare their real lives to carefully edited moments online. But healing and growth are rarely loud. Real progress often looks repetitive, private, and emotionally unexciting. It looks like showing up consistently even when nobody notices. The moment you stop obsessing over how everybody else is living, you finally regain the emotional energy needed to improve your own life with peace, patience, and clarity. A lot of people spend years imagining a better future while avoiding the uncomfortable actions required to build it. They dream constantly, but their daily habits remain unchanged. Fantasy becomes emotionally safer than effort because imagination carries no risk of failure. You can picture becoming calmer, healthier, wiser, or more successful without ever confronting the discomfort of discipline. But eventually, endless imagining becomes another form of escape. The life you want cannot remain only an idea inside your head. Growth requires action even while uncertainty still exists. Some days courage is not dramatic at all. It is simply getting up again after disappointment. Trying again after failure. Staying patient while progress feels slow. Quiet discipline slowly reshapes your identity long before dramatic results ever appear. One of the strongest signs of emotional healing is when you stop needing constant chaos to feel emotionally alive. Many people become so used to stress, overthinking, emotional intensity, and endless distraction that calmness starts feeling unfamiliar. Silence feels uncomfortable. Stability feels boring. But a healthy mind does not constantly need emotional noise. Over time, you begin appreciating slower mornings, clearer thoughts, healthier boundaries, and peaceful routines. You stop chasing temporary emotional highs that leave you drained afterward. Instead of reacting impulsively to every emotion, you begin responding with more awareness and patience. That shift changes everything internally. You feel more grounded, more emotionally stable, more connected to yourself. Peace within often begins the moment you stop abandoning yourself every time discomfort appears in your life. If you are avoiding the life you asked for, do not respond with shame or hopelessness. Respond with honesty. Growth becomes possible the moment you stop pretending everything is fine when deep down you know something needs to change. You do not need to transform your entire life overnight. Real healing usually begins with small consistent choices repeated daily. One disciplined morning. One honest conversation. One healthier boundary. One moment of choosing presence over distraction. People often underestimate how powerful small actions become when repeated consistently over time. Faith, patience, gratitude, and self-discipline slowly rebuild emotional strength from the inside out. The future you want is not completely out of reach. But it does require responsibility, awareness, and the courage to stop running from yourself. If you're avoiding the life you asked for, do not respond with shame. Respond with awareness. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not broken for struggling emotionally. You are not hopeless because change feels difficult. But healing does require honesty. Growth does require responsibility. And peace within does require discipline. Small steps matter more than dramatic promises. One honest conversation. One healthier habit. One quiet prayer. One disciplined morning. One moment of choosing presence instead of escape. That is how lives slowly begin changing. And maybe today is not the day you transform everything. Maybe today is simply the day you stop running from yourself. Because the life you asked for is still possible. But you must be willing to meet it halfway. You're avoiding the life you asked for, but you can also begin returning to it. Slowly, calmly, honestly. Share your thoughts below. How are you healing today?